All right, I somehow recorded Marty and Marty from part 2 back to back. So, oh man. Let's just roll with it. This is going to be Biff. I already recorded both Martys on a separate video if you want to check it out. Here's something that I would imagine if you get rid of that sticker, you could cut this off and turn this into a real life-size prop. It looks about life-size, right? Anyhow, so the Sports Almanac cover, you got a picture of Biff there. Biff looks great. I was going to pass up on Biff, but this one in particular looks incredible. So I was like, I might as well, because I already got the Martys. So here's what he comes with. Let's pop him out and see how he looks on the tray. All right, so we have his alternate head, his alternate yelling head, made like a tree. Get the hell out of here. Here's his almanac, Sports Almanac. 3 different hands, the 2 that come on him. Here's some of his paperwork, and then his lockbox. All right, here's Biff, fresh out of the plastic, and I think he looks pretty good. I'm not sold on, what is it called again, dot matrix? I am not sold on the dot matrix for pretty much anybody. It just comes out looking blurry. I just don't get it. McFarlane Toys used it for The Walking Dead, Stranger Things, and it looked terrible. I mean, it was embarrassingly bad. So ever since then, I just don't like it. On the new It from NECA, Chapter 2, on the Back to the Future, I just don't think it looks as good as the old way they were doing eyes. They were sharp. Anyhow, here's his vest. Nice sculpt work. Look to it. It pops. It looks just like it did on screen. Look at it, the collar painted good. His hair, the way it's sculpted and painted, how it looks, man. Biff looks freaking great. He looks friggin' great. And then his blue jeans here, and then his little dress shoes. And then you have some decent articulation. The collar stays well out of the way. Decent back and forth head movement. Arm goes up. Wow. Really fluid movement. The vest, the body torso, does not hinder the articulation there. And he's double jointed in the elbow. Hidden well. He's got a little turn at the waist. Does he got any crunch? He looks, if you can see right there, he looks like he has a cut in the abdomen. Now, sometimes with NECA figures, I learned this on one of the recent Alien Human figures. They'll have a cut. Yeah, he's got a cut there that you can articulate. And if you warm it up, sometimes that articulation joint is really good. So he looks like he does have an articulation there. And then you got a knee. Bend at the knee, rather. Let's see what kind of joints he's got. He's got the same type in his hips that Marty did. I like that. This feels solid. The ones they were using for Pennywise, Jason, and the Predator ones, I had problems with them. But these look like a huge improvement. They feel solid there, too. Hold the figure nice. You have a good amount of up. I don't want to press it because there's paint on that. Let me see. You can see it. There's paint on that joint. But a decent amount of up. You can work it in there. And then we have some side to side. Yeah. So you get a decent amount of rotation there. That foot will rotate like crazy. But I got to get that up. There we go. See that? That one really went back. All right, so let's check out his alternate head. Biff looks friggin' good, though. I think Biff was one I was least excited for. But I got to admit, especially with the style they went with from Back to the Future 2, this looks really cool. What would be another style, like the plaid shirt look from Part 1? Rolled up sleeves. Cigarette pack in his sleeve. Didn't he have those? Everyone had that back in the day, it seemed like. For movies, I was not alive back in that day. Anyhow, he looks freaking good. Let's pop on that other head. All right, something that impressed me. First off, the head was really difficult to get on. One thing that really impressed me, I'm going to try to get in real close there. And this is something I take notice because I'm getting into wanting to paint realistic faces and looks. I don't know how close I can get where you guys can see it, but they're doing speckling, is that what it's called, on the flesh to give it that realistic look to it with some multiple layers and speckling. They did that on Biff, and it seems to turn out really, really well. I don't know if that was a happy accident with how Biff was painted. I'm not really sure. But that's something that I was just trying to learn for smaller statues and whatnot. That's actually pretty impressive. And another thing, too, is the teeth are a separate piece, the teeth and tongue on the inside. This is something that impresses me that NECA does. Instead of doing just one whole open mouth and then it's all sloppy, they'll do a separate piece and they'll slide it in with another part in there and glue it together. So the head is actually two or three pieces. The head, lower jaw, upper jaw, and it's slidden in there. They do that on their horror figures, and it looks really, really good when they do that. And the articulation joint in the back here, I warmed it up some. I'm going to try to keep him down. I warmed it up some, and it looks like he gets some movement from side to side, some decent movement there. And that's coming from here, and then when this stops, it'll do the rest here. So it brings him down. You can actually see that crevice in the sculpt. When you move him, you can see the crevice move and go away. You got a decent amount of side to side, and he actually has some back and forward. It was stuck at first, but then when I warmed him up, he sure does have a ab crunch, which is pretty impressive that it was put in there. So that is friggin' awesome. I never would have realized that. Now, Biff is an interesting one because he was my least favorite. I was looking for Marty Part 1, Doc, Marty Part 2, and then Biff. That was my order from favorite to least. And Biff is real impressive. I think I might like him as much as Marty Part 2, I think. There's something about him. He looks well done, is what I mean. Really well done. They picked a good style, a good look from the movie. Frickin' Biff. Make like a tree and go to hell. Get the hell out of here. Anyhow, the paper is, unfortunately, it's just printed Saturday Night Enchantment Under the Sea. But it's good quality. Be there or be square. It is good quality. It's not just like a cheap piece of paper. Well, it probably is a cheap piece of paper, but it's a little thicker, thicker in quality. And then we have Western Auto Stores. Come on, yo. Western Auto Stores, world's leading auto accessory stores. This is when he had his car detailed, 11/22/55. So November 22nd, 1955. And then we got the Almanac. I'm curious if you can open it. No, you can't. It's just a piece of plastic with the Almanac glued on it. That's something they did for other stuff as well, like the Gremlins video game accessory. Gray's Sports Almanac, 1950 to 2000. Oops, sorry. I'm like shaking it. It's so small. You can see it, right? I mean, it's the same as the cover of the box. Yep, including baseball, football. It is identical to the cover of the box. Now, you can put everything, if I remember right. Oh, that's cool. It's got a little ring up top. You can put everything. Biff, I think you're messing the focus up. If I remember right, you can put everything in this box. How do you open it? There's hinges here. So I'm assuming. There we go. Woo! Dirty lady. Sneak a peek. Now this is molded and glued inside there. So you get ooh la la. And you can take your almanac, pop your almanac and put it in the safe. Can you put the receipt in there by chance? Oh, you can. It doesn't fit perfectly. You can put the enchantment. No, this is too big. But you could put the receipt in there if you want. I'm not gonna. Just the almanac for me. That's what goes in there. And then boom. Lockbox. That's freaking cool. Then you have a fist for punching people. Doesn't look all that detailed. Let's take a look at it up here in some light. With paint, it looks like it's just the clean mold. Doesn't look like there's any paint on it at all. Looks kind of cheap, especially compared to his face. Anyhow, that's his hand. Nice clean hands, though, let's say. Here's his other hand holding the... Let me look. What would that be holding? I don't know. I'm not sure. And then we've got the fist mark. I got a notification on my phone that said we might be stopping the recording. Let me go see what the problem is. I got plenty of space. Look at that. All right, and then we got Biff getting ready to punch somebody. So Biff is chilling there, pissed off. We got Back to the Future Part 2 Marty, and then Part 1 Marty. I friggin' love Part 1 Marty especially. The look is just so damn iconic. And NECA did an incredible job. With all three of these. All right, I'm going to get rolling. I had a notification that made me wonder if this is going to shut off any moment now. So let me know what you think about Back to the Future or any other horror stuff you're collecting. I got the bug for the movie stuff. I'd be interested in getting some more Gremlins. Like I mentioned, getting a little mini army of those, maybe building a diorama. I do need to get a few more Terminator, bulk that out, Sarah Connor, John Connor, some horror stuff as much as possible. That is I love it. But most of all, I guess, would be the Predators. The Predator is my favorite movie monster by far, and I can't get enough of having all types of Predators. And then the aliens too. That's my new thing, because at first I thought I'll just get one alien, but now that they're making the characters, I want Part 1, all the cast, everything they got coming. So let me know what you're collecting below. I'm out of here.